Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Fabo, with my special guest, Taiwan Taylor, and it's back at it again with our sizzling takes. We're the nosebleed snipers, back at it for another week of football and sports and pop culture commentary. So, without further ado, I just need to go in and say it. I think it's going to be a long season for us. I think it's going to be a long season. It's tough to watch. I watched the game. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, first of all, the Broncos might have the worst coach in the NFL. That guy is terrible. I don't know what is going on there, but he's terrible. But secondly, Lovey Smith is right there behind him. I don't know if it's a coaching issue. It's just hard to watch, man. We're slow still. It feels like David Mills is regressing. It's like and I'm like, did I miss something? I thought maybe I fell into the hype big time, but I thought we were gonna make strides, or we weren't gonna be. Well, we're not. I would say we're not looking, at least defensive wise, we're not looking bad. But the offense just looks still. It's my 3 day old potato chips I got in the pantry right now. It's just not going nowhere. And when they give Pierce, he has a Pierce the ball. It's a light in the dark, but then they just stop. They're like, no. Let's just bring Burkhead in there, even though Pierce is consistently getting 5, 6 yards of carry with the O line. That the more I've been looking into it, is not that bad. We've been, I think, honestly, they said Mills has been the least pressure quarterback in his first 2 games of the season, and he's still not making nothing happen. So I don't know what the disconnect is. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't. It's just is his pocket awareness that bad? I will say Brandon Cook should have caught that touchdown pass. That was an easy catch. But then again, it was still a bad throw. It wasn't placed perfectly. But I'm a guy that believes if it's in your hands, you should catch it. But it's bad to watch. I can't believe we lost a. We could have been 2-0 easily because the Colts haven't big just got beat by the Jags. Colts are just it's over for the Colts. Time to rebuild. And Russell and the Broncos are definitely the worst team or the worst coach team in the NFL. So I think they're gonna be washed out the AFC West. Russell Wilson is gonna have a Paul Pierce type of retirement run, and it just doesn't look good for us. I think it's gonna be a long season. I, look, we should have an easy game against the Bears this week, but I think Justin Fields is gonna look like the second coming of Donovan McNabb. Gonna go crazy all over us. So it's tough. I can't. It's just hard to watch. But how do you feel? Let me hear what you think about how we're looking. Yeah. True. I saw. Okay. I see that. Yeah. timid. He threw a check down on a 2 minute drive. Hmm. And in 2 games, 2 games is all he's got. Mhm. Do his thing. But I think what I've been looking into lately and been looking, it looks like maybe Russell was never like he's more of a like I'm gonna listen type of guy. And it kind of makes sense to like why that especially that playing the Super Bowl where he could have audible, but he stuck. I guess he heard the coach say, "Let's do this," and then so I don't know if that's a Russ thing, but it seems more and more like that's what everybody's saying about Russ. Like he's not the dude to like he's like gonna go by the books. You tell me what I gotta do, and I'm gonna give you that. So he doesn't stray away too far from like what he's called. And now it's starting to show more than ever because his coach is obviously not there, or I don't know, too inexperienced, and he's just not. I guess you could have a guy like Aaron Rodgers will be like, okay, I'll pick up the slack, but Russ is just like, well, you're the coach. You gotta get me there. I got the talent, but then I think Russ needs to take that step to be the guy. Like hey, that we're not going with that play. We're gonna go with this play because obviously he does make. Well, I'm not gonna say his whole career he didn't make changes, but it's looking more and more like he's more of like being told of instead of I'm gonna do. And that's weird to see because I'm like, well, damn, that's Russ. You think, if he's the elite quarterback we think he is, for him to just go out like this, and I don't think he fell off that bad. Like you said, you know, I think he still could be top 10, 5 in the league, but either it is a regression or he's just letting the coach do his thing and he doesn't have a say in it, which is weird to see because I guess Pete Carroll just did it so well in Seattle, but now in this with this new coach, maybe he's just starting to show more. And then I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have a tough road in the AFC West, especially with them young guns going crazy. It's gonna be tough. They could probably be Oakland because I don't know about Oakland, but I mean at Las Vegas. And he's gonna get it. Well, and then again too, I think back to the hurry up situation. I think Mills was to be more successful in the hurry up. I feel like the way they got it in the huddle, it's just too much bogging them. I think it's too much to think about. So I feel like with Mills, a hurry up will be better for him because I feel like he excels in that. Because I feel like when we move fast, he's there. Because he, like you said, he's good with the one read, bam, you know. But I don't know, maybe because I feel like, and look, I don't want to get, I'm still on the Mills bandwagon. He's this is probably be his first year to start, a full season. And I get it. These guys take a little bit. Cause look at Jalen Hurts and Tua now. They had their little bumps and falls, and now it seems like they're on the right path. So I get it. I don't want to, throw them under the bus yet. It's just, with him saying what he said, like, oh, we're gonna shock the world and this and that. Maybe a little bigger, for his bridges. So I'm like, I'm not going too hard on him because I know, I've seen the games where he's played well, and I'm like, okay, this guy's good. But so far, it's just a little stagnant. I will say, if he has a tough showing against Chicago, which their defense is not supposed to be as great, and it's supposed to be, it's not going to be a monsoon like they had with San Francisco. If it's still like that, and I'm like with the Chicago Bears, then I'm gonna be like, oh, maybe get Driscoll in there, start running some QB sneaks or something, because it's tough, but I'm not giving up on him yet. I know it's still early. He's learning the new offense again, and with these new got a new coordinator, new coach, so I know how that makes a big deal. But I do like, like I said, there is some gems in there. Like Damon Pierce looks like he's a guy, but I don't get why they don't use him more. And I get it. Pep was like he needs to do more besides running. Look, dog, give him the ball. Let him be the horse. Let him be the cowbell. Okay, he missed a block. Put Burkhead in there for the block, but don't take him out for long periods of time. And like obviously, you could tell he gets you the yardage, and it'll make it easier for Mills to have a third and two rather than a third and seven. So it's like so I don't know if they have an agenda against Pierce or they're labeling him as like a guy that's not coachable already. But it's like, come on, man, we like especially for this to be y'all go in on this guy. He makes he goes out there and looks like the real deal, and y'all just shelf him like that. I don't understand, but I'm the guy watching it. You need to let me in. I'm knocking on the door. I need to get in there. Yeah. That feels that way. Well, I will say this: I do like what the defense is looking like. I will say Sutton was tearing up Stingley, but he'll learn from that. Like they were testing the rookie out. The rookie got beat a lot, and that's hey, you got to step over the situations. But he'll learn. Like he makes some good stops, but hey, Sutton was that dude. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. No. You're right. all right. Let's get with the Texans roundup. But okay. What about this? Do we have the 2.0 Chicago Bears? This is one of my earliest hot takes. But the New York Giants might be have the best defense in the league. I'm gonna say it right now. The New York Giants might have the best defense in the league, and um, Daniel Jones is gonna Rex Grossman his way to the Super Bowl and be the Chicago Bears 2.0. Well, but but now I'm big on the Giants so far. They're probably I'm on the bandwagon. They started 2-0. They're looking real good. Daniel Jones looks like he's making some strides to be not elite, but just to be he's starting to do the right things. Like on that it was a 3rd and 7 with like 2 minutes left. Instead of making a Daniel Jones play where he saw both his reads locked up, he actually ran in, got the first down. They killed the clock the rest of the game. And so I like the Giants. I like what they're looking like. And Detroit, what I say, Detroit probably had the best offense in the NFL too. They're going crazy out here.
What I will say about the Giants is when you have Saquon Barkley, who I just advocate for because he to me, I don't care about numbers. I don't care about what other people might say. Oh well, he does this, gets out the backfield, whatever. Saquon Barkley to me is the most consistent back. He is the best back to me, my favorite running back to watch. And the reason why Daniel Jones looks like that is because okay, that the defense looks like that because of Saquon Barkley. You can give it to him, and he's going to pound away, and he's going to take clock. He's going to eat clock. The defense is going to have time to rest. There is not a more complete back, I feel like, than Saquon Barkley, and he really benefits from that team because Daniel Jones can't do anything. Okay.
And they paid one of they paid Galladay millions of dollars for just to sit there. So I feel that.
Okay, so again, I mean, Saquon is the
that guy. I like Saquon.
If he goes out, it's Tennessee Titans in the playoffs. Okay, it's a shame that running backs have to fight so hard to get their money. Because they are so vital to the team. But he is vital to that team. They're gonna have to go through him this season in order to be successful. But I mean, they're doing well. But like I said, they go as he goes, and he's going. He's gonna always, more than likely, that than not.
But also speaking of defense in the NFC East, the Cowboys and the Giants might have the best defense in the first 2 weeks. They've they've only they only gave up not that many points as you wish. I was looking at I forgot the numbers, but Parsons is going crazy, and they're gonna have to rely on that defense. Or they're gonna make a move with Rush, because they still got some offensive guys. I think they might need to think about adding Pollard in there more and letting Zeke just kind of. I think Zeke can still be solid, but it's just running backs are tough. They're on that downhill. They go on that downhill young. It's like I was gonna speak about that later with the Tennessee situation, but I feel like with the Cowboys and the Giants, because they play this coming week, might get a 3-7 game with the way the defenses are playing. But I don't know. I feel like they've been the most impressive defense for me to watch in the beginning of the season. So the NFC East might be slept on division if this keeps up, because you got the Eagles, of course, in there. Washington. I don't know what's going on with them, but they seem like they can score some points. And then you got two teams that can score points willingly, and then you got two defensive teams that struggle to score points because the quarterback situation ain't the greatest. So that might be a fun division to watch. But speaking of, I wanted to talk to you, get your thoughts about this. Do you we talk about this every week, but I really do think wide receiver one, like a stud guy, makes a way huge difference for these quarterbacks, because you can see that more now with the Tennessee situation of how because I always wonder why they traded Brown, but now I look into it, they didn't want to pay him the money, and I guess they were just banking on maybe we'll just get some picks, because I think Tennessee's and the Colts might be into a full rebuild, not maybe sooner rather than later, because I don't think Derrick Henry has it as he used to, because he's 20 years old. He's done great things. Like, I'm not saying he hasn't. It's just that way he ran, that had the wear and tear in his body, and it kind of shows. Like, you don't have that oomph and that same like explosion. He's getting knocked down more than normally, so I feel like now it makes sense why Tennessee was like, well, shoot, let's just get as much draft capital as we can, let Brown go, because I think they're probably gonna be in a full rebuild pretty soon. And it looks like that made Jacksonville the front runners for a division. But what do you think about the whole wide receiver one situation?
Well, I tell you like this, Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback of the Titans. So before we hit the panic button of saying, about wide receiver ones, I understand that they are important. And then certain teams, they can take you from a playoff contender to a Super Bowl contender. But if we're talking about the Titans, it's Ryan Tannehill. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like he can sling it and get it to somebody. I think that he is in the lower tier of quarterbacks. So like Jimmy Garoppolo, he has a good one. Mm-hmm. We'll say that Tom Brady's one is going to be out, so that's going to be there's going to be a theory that you can kind of base it on when they play this week. Mm. Dallas kind of got rid of their one. Their real one. I know that he's coming into his own. They have a second year one, but and their consistent veteran one, and they're struggling. It's something to say about having somebody solid that you can throw the ball to move the sticks. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's important. But if you don't have the play calling, like in Denver, if you don't the arm, which is in Titans with Ryan Tannehill, if you don't have the awareness, like Davis Mills, only goes first read. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of factors to me, because you can have a one. Mm-hmm. You can have a solid one. You can have a 2-3-7. Okay. I mean, I can catch. You feel me? The wide receiver catch and the running back catch. Just like with Matt Ryan in Atlanta a couple years ago. But you still need, it's a lot of factors. You know what I'm saying? Involved in that. So yes and no, but the Titans situation is bad because of the quarterbacks they have. So, that to me is nothing surprising. I wouldn't say that somebody who does not have a one can't be successful, but I will say that if you don't have a one and you also don't have a quarterback, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, no, it's just the more and more I watch it, because you see like great strides and jumps and strides, like with Hurts, because he got a solid number one now, and you see Tua out there going crazy with his number one. So it seems like, I know you preach on it a lot. Like, it's like, hey, especially when it comes to draft time, always go with the guy with the talent, because you saw that with the rookie with Wilson with the Jets. He went off he made Joe Flacco look like Super Bowl Joe Flacco out there, which I think he's top 3 in the league in passing, which is another crazy story. Like, if you told me that today, I would have been like, who? Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to see, but I don't know. I feel like more and more it's like, yeah, man, that wide receiver one is like top priority now. I don't want to say it's more important than like a quarterback, but it could go hand in hand. But it is.
Wide receiver is more important than the line. I do think that.
I know you don't like the big man down there.
I don't really care about that line as much as I care about that wide receiver, because I know they're like, well, no, but they don't have time to throw. That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, you go ask Joe Burrow, did he need time to throw? Because he was out there slinging the thing. And that's a combination of talent and play calling. Mm-hmm. Like I said, if you have Ryan Tannehill, yes, you need a line, you need to build it up, you need to make sure it's right. But if you have a talented quarterback and a talented wide receiver, it's really limitless what you can do, especially even if you have a struggling, offensive line. So. Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Joe Burrow, think you think the Bengals were just a fluke last year? What's going on with the Bengals? They haven't scored more than 20 points. Oh no, well they did the first game, but they've been struggling to score some points. Are they? I wouldn't say struggling. They're starting late. I feel like they're just kind of bullshit. Like they're in a daze right now, and after halftime comes around, they're like, "Oh shit, we're playing football." So I don't know. How do you feel about the Bengals? What do you think about them?
I feel like Super Bowl hangover is real. If
Mm-hmm.
you lose, you're going to suck the next year. It is outside of the
History
book.
proves, yeah. History
For
shows
that
it.
4 year period, there has really not been a Super Bowl loser to come back and be as ferocious as they were the next year. So, are they on a Super Bowl hangover? Of course. I wasn't expecting them to do a whole bunch. I thought that good, but that is it's obvious they put added some players.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow is he's still a quote unquote second year player, because first year he
Yeah,
got
it was
hurt.
hurt. Yeah,
So
true,
really,
true.
technically, last year was his very first year full time start. This is his second year full time starting. I'm really not. I love Joe Burrow.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
But he's still young. They added a bunch of players. They on a Super Bowl hangover. They had success red hot, really early, and everybody was very young. So it's not like they're gonna suck for the entire year. I think that this first half of the year is something that they're just gonna have to get through. They're incorporating different players, but the second half of the season, I really think they'll come out and be successful and do really start to make that push for the playoffs. But right now they're just having a bad start. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. And it's so far it's looking like that division not that tough. You got Pittsburgh, who's middle of the road. Cleveland, they might be middle of the road till Deshaun gets there. I feel like I don't know. They blew a lead to the Jets. You don't know how. And then um what I thought was interesting about the Ravens that I learned after watching the Tua game, they give up the most fourth quarter passing yards since 2019 or something like that. And I was baffled by that. I didn't even know that. But then that makes sense. How come that why they lose a lot of these playoff games? Because the fourth quarter comes around, they're gas and they just blow it. And so you saw that in full example of it Sunday against Tua, which I would say, I give Tua his props. He did go out there do his thing, but look, I don't want to be a Tua hater, but I feel like if he didn't have Hill, them balls wouldn't have got caught. A lot of them balls were underthrown. People want to say, "Oh, he's the second coming to Dan Marino." Yeah, he had a great game. He helped me out of my fantasy team, so I ain't mad at that. But I'm just saying, everybody, let's relax. He gets the Bills this week coming up. If he does the same thing, if he goes crazy against the Bills, I'm on the bandwagon. But I just want everybody to slow their reign. Baltimore is known to giving up the most passing yards in the fourth quarter. It's documented. It's there. Go look at the proof. But there was a lot of balls he underthrew. Tyreek Hill is just that great. Waddle, he has more space to move because everybody's focused on Hill. So I want everybody to just relax. Tua did great. I don't, I'm with y'all. I like Tua a lot. It's just yeah, and then you know what I don't like about Tua though? He's right-handed, but he throws left-handed or it's opposite. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get that. I don't know why he like. What? Why did they teach you that?
Ron is left-handed, but he shoots right-handed. So I mean, it's do that, but it's for him. I think that he was trained right-handed, and I don't know why he's stuck with it, but it doesn't seem like he has enough power in his throws, which really it's your legs. Hands is your drop and how much control you have over your body. I think that so we'll go to because we always go from Jalen to Tua or Tua to Jalen, but I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna move it over to Jalen. If you look at like new throwing motion, his stance, the way he plants his foot, like it is so much more improved since last year. Like
it just looks pretty. It looks pretty. Like it just looks good. Yeah.
His accuracy, his power, his range, his throwing the ball down the field with accuracy. He has really worked on his, and it shows tremendously. I watched a couple of those drives.
Me
and
too.
just blown away. I was like, oh, good throw, good
Yeah,
throw.
I was on the bandwagon. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it.
Down the field, he launched it. I'm like, this is great. You are reading the field correctly. Mm-hmm. You on the third read. You're running when you need to. You're out there making adjustments, calling audibles and stuff like that. I really like what he's done, and I think the contrast between him and Tua is just now beginning to be confident throwing the ball deep. And with Hill, you just got to throw it. I don't care what's going on, you just got to throw it. And I think once he gets more comfortable, works on his footwork, he'll be more like a Jalen Hurts and improve. You'll be able to see the improvement towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I think he's just a little bit. He's still nervous because Tyreek Hill is really fast. I think
still
back as hard or whatever, but I think it would be hard for Tom Brady even to hit him because he is very, very fast. Mm-hmm. Like you think that you get it out there and he's
gone.
He slow down, and any quarterback would have pressure with that. That's for Patrick Mahomes, of course, but his arm is limitless. But it is very hard to get that ball out there far enough for him to run up under it. And until I give him to about week 5 or 6 when he really gets in the groove, he gets his footwork together, stops being so nervous. I think that he can get the ball out where he doesn't have to kind of come back and stop and slow up or anything like that. But Tua, he's looking really good, and I'm excited for his progress.
Regardless, who you are, 6 touchdowns is impressive, and a comeback win. That it was good. I'm telling you, he helped me out on my fantasy team. So I'm just
the number 1 most improved player would be Jalen Hurts. So I like Tua, and he did a great job. But let me tell you something, Jalen Hurts is my guy. I'm cheering real hard for him because
he's nice. I like him
because the improvement is just 100%. I can't find a flaw with him right now. Mm-hmm. Leadership on point, and like I told you at the beginning of the season, he looks like an NFL franchise quarterback. He dresses like a franchise quarterback. He talks like a franchise quarterback. He carries himself leadership-wise on and off the field like a franchise quarterback. And that is the difference, I think, between him and every other younger quarterback besides, like a Patrick Mahomes or, because I don't think he'd be like the top quarterback, but I think that,
No, he could be there, but I'd say with him, he put in the work. Like you could tell he was in the off season. Like, you know what? This is my chance. Year 3, I cannot blow it. I'm gonna put in that work. Like I could tell. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and said, "Hey, he was always in the gym, left late. He was always in the gym. He left late. First one in, last one out. I'm gonna go. Oh, we got Brown. Hey, Brown, let's go do the thing. Come meet up. Smith, come meet up. Goddard, go take a bath. It's okay. You gotta go take a bath, okay? But yeah, so I feel like he made all that improvement, and it shows. Like I'm with you. I'm on the bandwagon too. I was watching that Monday night game after I saw the Bills demolish Tennessee, but I was watching the Eagles, and they look impressive. Defense looks impressive. Jalen Hurts is out there like every opportunity he had, put points on the board, and at the end of the day, you just gotta outscore your guys. And there was no way they didn't leave no opportunity left. So I like Hurts. He's looking real good. He might, like you said, I'm with you, most improved player. And and I love the fact that they stuck with him. They could have got rid of. They could have been like, oh, he flopped his first year. Let's move on. But they're like, you know what? Let's build. Last year, they let him take the reins. Went on a 9-game win streak. Got him in the playoff. Didn't beat Brady. But now this year it looked like he took the next step, and they might be, they're probably. I'm not gonna say they're my favorite in the NFC yet, because Brady's still out there lurking. Brady's still there. But if Brady divorced and his wife divorced, Eagles. I'm a fan. Throw me on the bandwagon, Philly all day, baby.
Yeah, speaking of that, what do you think about Tom Brady and his performance and the way he's
That girl is that his wife is sucking the soul out that man. Every time he gets to the podium, he's getting skinnier. His face is falling in. It's just like, hey, look, I ain't mad at him. I stay home for a week. I would have want to go back to work too, but it's like, it's tough. You're Brady. You the greatest. You can still do the damn thing. But if you got the missus at home upset, and she's upset probably because he ain't around enough, and they got kids and this and that.
Well,
It's
from
tough.
a male perspective, I'll say women do like the wives do a whole lot more than
No, yeah.
people for,
Mm-hmm. I,
because
I'm with that 100%.
yeah, she makes it comfortable for him.
Mm.
He's able to
To
come
focus
home,
on football.
not worry about anything but football because of her.
Yeah.
And
No.
he said, "Oh, okay, never mind. You don't value me, bye." And it's like, well, well, wait. When I get home, I gotta feed the dog. Like, it's 11 o'clock. Like, I gotta watch I gotta watch
The
my food.
film.
Like, why is nothing cooked? Like, why ain't no food here? Like, it makes a difference. And I think he's rattled because he's just not used to everything being on him,
Yeah.
to get himself ready to do the things for himself. He's in
Mm-hmm.
a comfortable environment that, she gave to him is really affecting him right now because he's not he's uncomfortable.
And it's funny. You can tell he's uncomfortable because prior these past 2 years, he would always go on Twitter and be like, post a little video like, "Hey, we're going to play here. We're going to play there." This week, because I follow him on Twitter, he only posted a picture of like an animated GIF, like, "Oh, we're going into New Orleans, and they always had our number." But he didn't even like do a video with hip hop in the back like he always does. He shook. I think he shook it.
Bet money, bet money. He don't even have the same two socks on. Bet money. That boy's socks are mismatched right now. Okay.
Oh man, my boy down bad. Ah man, see, hey, it is true. Happy wife, happy life. But the wife ain't happy. You ain't being happy either, my dog. You better hope y'all keep winning.
I say all that to say, Tampa Bay is gonna be down there. Their number one wide receiver. They still gonna watch. They still gonna watch them. And I mean, it's Tom Brady. Like, just like the man said, he was arguing with the ref. He's like, "That's Tom Brady." Like, what you?
That no, hey, that's my guy. I'll go out there and shoot. I'll be in the stands and I'll go fight for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
But let's move go on to what about how did you feel about last week's Thursday night game? Mahomes and Herbert. I didn't. I thought Herbert was gonna pull it off, but he got injured. Do you think his injury is more serious, or how you feeling? You think Herbert's gonna bounce back?
I hope he does. You never really can tell with that kind of injury. But Mahomes, I already told you, he's out for blood this season. He's out for the MVP. So,
Okay.
those close. I think they're gonna have closer games, of course. But those close games, he's gonna come through. It's Patrick Mahomes' season for MVP, and I think it's the Chiefs' season for another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really impressed with the defense. I'm really impressed that they look like a defense this year.
Yeah.
Opposed to last year. And it's a divisional game, so it's
Tough.
just it's very different. So any kind of analysis that I give on divisional games it really just depends on what what team goes where, who has home field, what's the previous matchups like. Do they play each other tough or do they play each other tough? When one is home or one is away. Those divisional games are really hard to kind of assess and tell which team has the advantage. But like I said, I think Patrick Mahomes is like the slight advantage in a tough division.
You could tell maturity helped out a little bit. In that game.
Right.
So, speaking of, did you
What was the play of the game to you on that game?
Well, I will say the most and like the most wild play for me was Kelsey getting spotty slam, but the play of the game was that interception, that 99-yard interception return, and it was funny to watch because you saw Everett just getting the pass, doing it, but my boy got gas, which he is known for, and he didn't hustle when he needed to hustle, which I get it, you're gas, but come on, dude, you're right at the goal line. They're going to you. You were making all the plays, and he was on my fantasy team. I could have used that touchdown, but but that interception, man, that rookie guy got him and said 99 yards to the house, like it's nobody's business, and it just shows you, man. Football isn't really a game of inches. Like if he just had a little quick breather, but then again, you're in that rhythm. Hurry up! You gotta hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I think Herbert just fell in love with that. Like you said, that you got to go to multiple reads. Herbert had the one read. I think the immaturity got to him a little bit, but hey, I hope he does get. I hope he is gets healthier because so far the injuries are hitting them pretty tough. They got Allen out. Now you got Herbert. You don't know, and if it's a rib situation, the whole Tyrod Taylor stuff that happened. So I wouldn't be comfortable with that looming. So I hope it's not too serious. They said, he's gonna play still, but I get it. Breeze did it with the broken ribs in one year, but that's never comfortable for anyone. Like that's ribs at the end of the day. Like any little touch is gonna hurt.
That's a tough injury to play with. And I would rather heal up, like especially with ribs and anywhere close to lungs, puncture lung, anything could happen with that. That's why I don't really like when quarterbacks play with that injury. And I know Tony Romo did it. I know Drew Brees did it, but I don't feel as comfortable when certain quarterbacks do it. And he's tall, lean, and mean. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I just would prefer if he just if it was yeah, just sit out just a week. You know what I'm saying? I just really feel like his talent is to me, they just need to kind of be a little bit more careful with him than throwing Tyrod out there or something like that.
Yeah. They give the $1 million maker Chase Daniels going out there. Boy, making the most money as a backup. He could go out there and play a couple games.
He's too rich out there. You know what I'm saying? He don't throw balls for a living. That's not his job. His job is to stand there with the clipboard. He makes music.
Boy, killing it. But I will say it did look a little concerning when he had an opportunity to run for a first down, but he just threw the ball away because he didn't want to get hit, and you could tell he was in serious pain. So I like I said, I don't like these rib injuries or back injuries because they might be more severe than what they let on. And I get it, people will play through the pain, but you're a young dude. It's like you don't want to ruin yourself early and just put yourself in more bad situations. But hopefully it's not too concerning as I think. But it just looked tough. Like he was out there, he had a clear path to run, but he just threw it, and even when he threw it away, you could just tell the grimace. So it is tough to look. I hope it's not too serious, and and they got another tough team. Jacksonville's coming up, and their defense hits hard, man. So I hope he's doing all right. They did get a little bit of a longer week because it was a Thursday night game. But he's a young dude. I hope he doesn't go out like that. Especially with the whole Tyrod Taylor situation, which that's a whole conspiracy in itself. But I will say a funny thing for me was watching people. This is not it's football related, but not it's more streaming related. Was watching people get confused about the Amazon. My dad called me like, "Hey man, where's the game at?" I'm like, "Hey, well do you have Amazon Prime? You gotta do this and that." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you have well, luckily he had Amazon Prime. I'm like, if you just go to Amazon Prime, download the app, you can just watch it on your TV." And he's like, "What? I couldn't find it on the local or nothing." I'm like, "They don't have it on there no more, Dad. You gotta get that subscription."
Did you see Nick Wright went on a whole rant about NFL Sunday tickets? Like, like the football season streaming is not going well.
The streaming wars is crazy. Because you don't know who to watch. Like, even with the Monday night game, you had two games at the same time. Luckily, it was a blowout, so I just went to the Eagles game. But next week, you have the Manny cast, you have Monday Night Football, and I don't know if they're doing a doubleheader. So it's just like, man, it's a lot going on with these streaming wars. But hey, the money's out there. NFL's getting on that, working on that TV money, so I get it. But it was a lot to just take in. It's just a lot of different things you got to like look out for. But I just thought it was funny. Just a lot of, especially like older people, were just like, "Man, where the game at? What a game!" And then especially with streaming, if you have bad internet, it lags behind. So I had a lot of my friend was like, yeah, I was at a bar, and on this one side you hear yeah, and then the other side you're like, what was going on? There? Yeah, because it was on a delay, and then they started hyping it up. So it was fun. It was that's the whole. It was a little funny ness I thought, but anyways, we're at that point. We're gonna give us 3 games you're looking forward to, and go out with a little hot take. I'm gonna tell you the 3 games I'm looking forward to. Of course, Dallas Giants. You know that might be a defensive battle, low scoring game. Honestly, I forget who Detroit's playing, but any game Detroit has, I'm watching. Like Detroit has their offense is crazy. St. Brown is doing numbers. Oh, against the Vikings, easy dub. I'm going on. I'm calling it now. So yeah, Vikings and Detroit. I'm watching. Just because I have St. Brown on my fantasy team and he's going crazy. I guess that fan that messaged him like, "Hey, you better do good." And then last game I'm looking forward to is Bills in Miami.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to see if Tua is the real deal, and I'm a fan of Bills Mafia. I feel like Bills Mafia is. Kansas City, Buffalo, my 1-1 right now. And then on the east side, I'll go with Eagles. I like Eagles, but right now 1-1 is Kansas City and the Bills. The Bills look tough, man. I don't know. The defense looks crazy. Allen is going stupid out there. But yeah, so I like the Bills. So Bills in Miami might be a heater for me. And of course I watch the Texans, but I ain't looking forward to that.
That is one of my honorable mentions, the Bills Miami. I think that's going to be a really telling. I think that's a telling game for everybody. Just the Bills are supposed to roll the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are supposed to play tough at home because it's divisional. So I think it's going to be a little closer than people think. But of course, I'm like I said, I've watched a lot of Patriots football over the years, so I have like particular games that I like to watch, coaching duels, and so Ravens Patriots. I think that's very interesting.
Really?
A whole lot over the years. I'm looking for the Ravens to bounce back. Even though the Patriots bounce back against the Steelers, I'm looking for the Ravens to bounce back against the Patriots this week, and it's going to be very.
If Mac Jones throws 6 touchdowns, I'm going crazy.
You're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. But also, I'm looking forward to. I know that this is not a real hype game, but Bengals Jets. Joe Burrow need a W at this point. I'm not.
Joe Flacco, baby.
I'm kind of agitated, you know what I'm saying, with it, but it's the Jets. Do something. I mean, like you need to. I'm talking about 5 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Flacco
are
about to go
airing out.
crazy on that defense. Eli Apple washed.
And then also Pack Bucks, of course, because
Yep.
I think Bucks is gonna wash the Packers, but
I don't know. Packers came back.
they did. But I'm just saying that I think that they're gonna get washed. I think Packers gonna get washed. I predicted they would get washed by the Vikings. I think they're gonna get washed by the Bucks. I think against good teams they are gonna struggle mightily this year. Middle of the road teams that be okay, but against the Packers, against the Vikings, they got washed. So I think it's gonna be a one of those wash. And my honorable mention, of course, is gonna be 49ers and the Broncos. Only because I love it. Come on, Jimmy G, and come on and give us a win. Okay, he gonna beat the Broncos in Broncos home state.
I can see
And
it.
I'm gonna say, like I said, Trey Lance is gonna be one of those guys that I'm cheering for. I really am. I think he's gonna be great, but it's not right now. And he's injured. Jimmy G is looking like the savior. He gonna come in. You know what I'm saying? You talking about Lord and Savior David Mills? I'm talking about
Jimmy G, the cutie.
Okay, he gonna roll it long. He gonna come in. And it's just gonna. And the energy has shifted. Everybody's extra positive. Everybody's running hard. Giving a little bit more effort. And when they go into Bronco Stadium and actually win, it's gonna be a very long conversation about Trey Lance, which is always. It was already long this week on most sports shows.
Yeah, poor guy. I feel bad for him though. I feel bad, but
Yeah,
hey.
I don't really feel bad because they traded 3 first-round picks for this nigga. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
This is
tough
one
one.
of the disappointments of a lifetime, but you can't say that he's a disappointment because he hasn't even really played.
Play. Yep.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
like he's stuck in no man's land between utter and total failure, which is where some people have put him. And the man ain't even did anything yet. He ain't
Nothing.
even played. He
Yeah.
played like a game and a half. Like it's not even.
Yeah. No. True that.
So I just really feel like Trey Lance, you gotta get when you get back from injury, you gotta put it in. Like you gotta put in the work because I don't think.
And you could, I will say that that shows a lot this year, like who put the work in and who did it. Like who just went to work, like practice, just did the normal shit, or who like Jalen Hurts. Like I'm gonna stay late, I'm gonna come early, I'm gonna do the extra stuff, and even Patrick Mahomes, he got a whole new receiving core, brought them all to the crib at Texas. Like, hey fellas, let's get chemistry and this and that, and you could tell, like you could already tell. So yeah, no, maybe something like these some of these I feel like the new age athletes is something you see it in the NBA a lot. Like they're always worried about other stuff rather than the sport. Like I feel like they made so much money. They're like, nah, I'll just do my little gaming thing, my rapping thing. But sports is just my hobby now. I feel like they're doing other crafts and this and that. But hopefully this reflected on him and he's like, you know what, I can't let this opportunity go. Let me step my ish up, so he'll get it going. But I will say my one hot take for the week: Chicago quarterback Justin Fields and Houston quarterback David Mills have one of the greatest quarterback showdowns of a lifetime. Fields maybe rushing touchdown, 3 passing, and Mills 4 passing TD, breakout game, and he's back. That's my hot take for the for the week.
Like I already said my hot take, which is the Packers don't get washed again. So
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, people. I think people like are really kind of agitated with the Packers, like, oh man, they're supposed to be great, and I'm like, no, you got rid of your number one, like you talking about number one
Yeah,
receiver.
no, and that shows.
And well, even though that Derek Carr has them now, it doesn't seem to be making a difference. So
I was gonna say, poor I bet you he's missing Rodgers. He's like, God damn, can't make a throw for shit.
I know, really, but then he looks at his pockets and say,
I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right.
So.
But yeah, all right. I think that's it for this week. Come back next week. Come back and see if we were right or wrong. But anyways, it's your boy, Fabo, with Taiwan Taylor. This is the Nosebleed Snipers. Peace.